Now we need to work the scenario if the cart header is not null. So in that case, we will go to the else part here, and this will be if cart header is not null, we will check if the details has the same product. If that product has already been added, then we just need to update the count. So we need to go to the cart details, and we'll say cart details from db is equal to underscore db dot cart details dot first dot default async. And in here we will say u goes to u dot product id is equal to cart dot cart details dot first dot default. In there we have the product id. This should be equal, and we also want to make sure the cart header id is same. So cart header id is equal to cart header from db dot cart header id. We cannot find the cart header ID because we have the async here, but we forgot to await that. Once you do that, you will find the cart header ID here. Once we get the cart details from database, our role is to check if this is null or not. So right here, we will check if cart details from DB is null. This means we have to create the cart details. So we'll copy this comment, and we implemented that first. So create details. When we are creating the details, we have to populate the cart header ID just like we did in the first case. So we will copy and paste that here. And this time it won't be from the cart object. It already exists. So it will be from cart header from DB. Next, we will also set the product to be null. So let me copy this. Set the product to be null, and we will just create the cart details and save the changes. Else part here, we just have to update the count. So update the count or cart details. First, we will update cart.cartDetails.first.default. Let me copy this much. What we want to update here is the count. We just do not want to set this to the new count. We want to increment that, so that way if there are 5 items already in the cart and if they add 5 more, we want to do plus equal to cart details from db dot count. We again don't see that because I believe we are missing the await keyword. And perfect. So we increment the count, and then we'll update. So underscore db dot cart details dot update. We have cart dot cart details dot first dot default. Then we will await underscore db dot save changes async. This is great. The functionality looks solid, but there is one flaw. When you run this code, you will run into error message because right here, if you see, Entity Framework Core is already tracking a cart details object. When you try to add something else, it will throw an error that the object is already tracked, so that cannot be done. So how do we overcome this? With Entity Framework Core, the cart details from DB we really do not want to track because we are not updating anything in this object. So if you don't want to track that, you can set here as no tracking. That will not be tracked by Entity Framework Core and you won't run into any error. We will also copy this and implement the same for cart header. So cart headers dot as no tracking. Because we are not updating the object that we retrieve from the database, we are just creating a new header, and if that is not null, we are updating the details. One last thing that we forgot here is the product null. We will also have to set that in the else block. So with this, our functionality is rock solid for creating or updating a shopping cart. The only error we are getting here is we have to return the cart DTO. So let me use this mapper right here, go to the very end, and we will just return back an object of cart DTO. We will convert the cart object that we added and will return a cart DTO. With that, the error should go away. So our main method for creating or updating a shopping cart is solid. Let's continue in the next video.